What's up, fam? Welcome back again to Recap Kickback. It's me, your host, Chappell, here to bring you what's happening in Black entertainment news and to recap our movie or television show of the week, How to Die Alone. Yep, that's right. We'll be completing our How to Die Alone review. We talked about episodes 1 through 4 last week here on Recap Kickback, and we will be talking about episodes 5 through 8, basically the entire series this week, as well as the entertainment news of the week. And with me, again, as usual, to talk about all the things Blackity Black this week, it's Mari Forth. Mari, welcome back.
Hello. Black entertainment never takes a day off, so we won't either. I'm very glad to be back to finish off an amazing series that we got a lot of good feedback about. Like, I'm glad people are watching this show. So I'm glad we're talking about it, and I'm glad people are like responding to us about it. So like join the conversation, reach out to us. You know, it's not a kickback if everybody don't put in their 2 cents. So I'm glad to be back with you guys again.
Yeah. And by everybody, you mean everybody, because we have with us our special guest returning from last week to finish off our How to Die Alone and to give some insight into some of the news of this week. We got Matt Scott. Matt Scott, welcome back.
We're black. Happy to be here. And thank you for having me. Chappell, Mari, I've seen you a lot. Some might say too much, but I think the right amount in the last couple weeks between all the different podcasts. So happy to be
still
here.
More to come.
And more to come. We're not done. We're not done.
Yeah. For the listeners, Matt and Mari were both the guests on the Nothing But Netflix podcast with me and Rob Cesternino to talk about Mr. McMahon. We did that in 2 parts, and then we did How to Die Alone here in 2 parts. And then this week, we're going to be recording our episode of Crime Scene with Mari and her co-host, Sarah Carradine. Mari, what are we talking about this week?
Oh, we're talking about Jailbreak, Love on the Run on Netflix.
Yes.
Wow.
Whatever that is. I'm excited.
We love to see it. Yep. Whatever that is. But look at us, the 5-time podcasters in the last week and a half. Again, love to see it.
Yeah, we got to run this back.
And we got feedback saying more Matt Scott on the kickback, please.
Who said that?
Really? Who said that?
It was on Twitter. Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't get that.
Yeah. You know, you can't teach taste, right, Matt?
Sure.
I
have nothing to say.
We love having you here on Recap Kickback. It took far too long for you to get here, but we're getting our use out of you while we can.
Wow, just using me up and spitting me out. We love
Look, I have no shame in our game here. Thank y'all all for listening, of course. Thank y'all for subscribing to the podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button. Let us know that you're supporting us, but then also leave us a comment. Let us know how you feel about Recap Kickback. We've been seeing a lot of good feedback about the format. Y'all like the Black entertainment news. Y'all like the recaps. We're doing that. Some people have been suggesting Mari that maybe those are 2 separate videos that we release or something like that. Maybe in the future, but right now I kind of like this. Just the entertainment news in the first half, and then maybe do like the recap in the second half. Instead of doing it like that, making it 2 different videos for the people out there with the ADHD, I think is what was said. I think right now we'll leave it like this. We can play around with the format a little bit, huh?
Mari, what do you think?
As long as I don't gotta record 2 different things. You want to split it up? Sure.
each entertainment news segment is going to be its own podcast, and then and then we'll break down How to Download in 8 different episodes. But we got 1 time to record it, so
that's right.
But we do appreciate the feedback. We also got an email from Laura. It said, "Make sure you check out Southern Rights on Hulu. It's a documentary. Have you ever heard of this documentary, either the 2 of you?"
No, but wait, that's what the whole email said, Chappell?
It says, check out Southern Rights to Recap Kickback. She's emailed before. You know, this is a friend of the podcast at this point.
Okay. Shout out to Laura. Thank you. Yes. But we haven't checked it out, but I guess we have to. So good email from Laura.
Southern Rights, what did it say what it's about?
I don't know. So the documentary that I found is a 2015 documentary. It says photographer Gillian Laub documents a divisive murder case in a small Georgia town 1 year after the town merged into its segregated proms. So, Mari, this is right up your alley with the crime scene element for sure.
Yeah.
Matt, you look shocked.
2015, they desegregated the prom in a town in Georgia.
Someone got killed. Yeah, someone got killed.
I don't know if it tracks.
Well, I don't know if it's like the documentary is set in 2015 or if it was just created in 2015, but it does look fairly recent. I wonder what's going on in this. I wonder what's going on here.
I need to find out. I feel like we can tack that onto this episode.
Yeah, maybe Mari will screen it or something like that. Just watch it on her own and tell us if it's like worth, like if she sees anything good in there to talk about. But it does sound very sad. A murder.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like I gotta be. Even after we watch Hollywood Black, and I'm like, I gotta do my part to support Black stuff and stuff like that.
Sure.
I gotta see. Maybe depending on if the director of this is Black, I'll watch it. But if it's like Black trauma and like Black people didn't make it, I might not watch it. I'm not gonna.
Let me tell you. Let me see.
Southern. What was it? Southern what?
I'm
Southern
rights,
and
I'm just assuming it's a Black person who died.
I actually don't think it is.
Okay, great. Okay, Southern what?
So Southern Rights. So it says Southern Rights visits Montgomery County, Georgia, 1 year after the town emerged its racially segregated proms and during a historic election campaign that may lead to its first African American sheriff. Acclaimed photographer Jillian Laub, who is the director, whose photos first brought the area unwanted notoriety, documents the repercussions when a white town resident is charged with the murder of a young Black man. The case divides locals along well-worn racial lines, and the ensuing plea bargain and sentencing uncovers complex truths and produces emotional revelations.
Did you just say was there a year in there?
I probably could have said that's what that was about. And you were like, no, I don't think it's about that. And then you proceed to tell me exactly what I think it's about.
Well, what did you think it was about? You knew it was about an election year and the sheriff and all that stuff? I thought that was interesting.
I think a Black person was murdered unjustly.
Well, we knew that. I was trying to get like some other context. You know what I'm saying? Like we can do any documentary. We just talk about Black folk getting murdered unjustly. Look, it's a dime a dozen these days.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to talk about it.
We ain't got to talk about it. It don't look like it's Black to me. I don't think Jillian. Listen, I don't want to say she don't sound Black, but I'll put it like this: the writer of Josh Alexander, the writer / producer of this, is not Black. So I'm just gonna use that to tap out. I think this is a sad story. Maybe I'll check it out on my own and see if there's something there. But it's right up Mari's alley with the crime scene thing. So we do appreciate the suggestions. Keep them coming. Let us know. I think there was another suggestion, and there was also a follow-up. Check out Break-In on the One, and Hip Hop in the White House. There's a few. I guess Laura had a few suggestions for us. Break-In on the One, and Hip Hop at the White House. Yeah, we'll put them on the list. Check them out, and then
Hip Hop in the White House.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
That sounds fun. I know.
Yeah. Nobody gets murdered.
Like, I'm sorry, y'all. It's fall, so seasonal depression is right around the corner, and I'm not gonna be chasing it personally.
Yeah. Wow. I'm just learning. Shout out to people who create documentaries. Now I'm following down the Jillian Laub rabbit hole, so maybe I'm gonna just close the tab.
Hip Hop in the White House is it's Black made. It's directed by Jesse Washington. And I believe it dropped this year in April. And it says hip hop's rise from marginalized urban culture to powerful mainstream force is explored alongside its intersections with presidential politics and policies. I feel like this is very topical, considering this is all election time. We're here. We've made it to that time of the season. I think that'd be great to put on the to-do list potentially. It sounds like a good time.
Yeah, that does sound very interesting because I know a lot of parallels that they can draw between like politics versus what was happening in hip hop.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we see it all the time. Hip hop is just like creeping over into other realms left and right. We love to see it, honestly, because we know that is a very, very Black genre. and we like to support these things here on Recap Kickback for sure. And so make sure if you have any other suggestions like that or anything similar, or anything you just think we would like, let us know. Let us know what you were thinking, you know, what's on your mind, what you're watching. You can email us at recapkickback@gmail.com and let us know what you've been keeping your eyes on so that we'll have something to talk about here on the show. And we appreciate all the feedback that we do get. And I don't want to just segue into hip hop going into other areas, but this is right up your alley. Sexxy Red makes a surprise cameo on WWE Raw. And I feel like we have the perfect panel here to talk about this.
Wait, Matt, hold on. Could I just see? She was on WWE Raw. Who allowed it? Who allowed it?
Why? What's the problem?
So she was on Raw for a second to announce that she was going to be on NXT tonight.
Which is interesting that they didn't just do the performance on Raw.
Oh, they said you can't do this on Raw, but you can do it at NXT.
But NXT is on CW, which is so weird. But no, yes, that makes sense because Sexxy Red has already been on NXT. She hosted NXT PLE. Her and Shawn Michaels are like
friends.
There's so much footage of like pictures of them backstage, video of them, because she sampled his theme music and did a mixtape song off his theme music.
Yeah, she really did.
She did.
She really did.
Classic Shawn Michaels theme song, like
Shawn.
Yeah, that one.
That
we all know my feelings about Miss Red, but I will say that was kind of a bop. So it's annoying.
You know what? I appreciate her because her music isn't good and she's not that talented, but I just think like to be successful, like the American dream. Look at the American dream.
Well, yes, yeah,
that's the American dream. Sexxy Red,
and we'll just keep it at that.
Well, the company has collaborated with other rappers before in the past. Notably, Mari has already spoken on Megan Thee Stallion's track "Never Play."
That was fun.
Mari from BTS being featured on SmackDown last month, and then of course,
it's the theme for SmackDown.
Yes, the theme for SmackDown,
which a lot of people were not happy with.
A lot of people were not about.
They didn't like that. Get over it. Women. Get over it. It's done. And then the company has also collaborated with Cardi B, who's helped them announce SummerSlam 2025.
Yeah, she might be there.
Yeah,
I mean, she was in the ad, so she better be. But she was. I feel like she was going to collab with them, and then she got pregnant like a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's happened a few times.
It happens.
It just won't stop happening. This past weekend, even Metro Boomin, Lil Baby, and Quavo, and other hip hop stars and executives attended Bad Blood. How was that, y'all? It was in Atlanta.
It was.
It was in Atlanta.
We weren't there.
Yeah. No,
y'all didn't like it. Y'all watched
it. It was in Atlanta.
Okay.
No, it was good. You know,
it was a fine program.
People wrestled matches. There was blood.
Was it bad?
There were feuds.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't bad. It was just a normal, like, good old, show.
Good blood.
You know, people fought. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Is this wrestling wrap up or?
This is not wrestling rehab.
I don't think we're being compensated talking about wrestling.
We're not being compensated, so
Chappell,
we'll just move on.
Please.
Yeah.
To get Matt and Mari's thoughts, check out the rest of Rehab. They will podcast eventually. They won't tell you when or why. It'll just happen. And so just subscribe and you might hear them. How about that?
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, moving on. Boots Riley taps Keke Palmer, Lakeith Stanfield, and more for the new film I Love Boosters. Have y'all heard about this film?
No, Chappell. I thought it was about COVID vaccines. So
go get your shots.
Get vaxxed.
Yeah, go get
waxed if you want.
Just take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, we don't. This isn't about that. Let's just put it like that. This is about people who steal boosters.
Shocker.
These are people who steal. So, Matt, are you telling me you're not familiar with boosters, like as the occupation?
I do not. I I can't be incriminated here, Chappell.
I just said familiar with the occupation. I'm not asking you if you ever boosted.
I am familiar with boosters as a calling and not an occupation.
Right.
You know,
like some people,
the thing that people do, you know.
Right. Some people were sent, you know, to bring us these things. So for the people who are not familiar, boosters are the people who they steal from like large retail businesses, and then they sell those things for cheaper. You know, Robin Hood-esque people you know, out here doing the Lord's work. This film is going to be dedicated to enterprising shoplifters who target a ruthless fashion mogul. Okay, so the plot still remains under wraps, but I was just looking at the cast, and I think that Kiki Palmer, of course, Lakeith Stanfield, like those are becoming some of our like big names in Black Hollywood, Mari.
Yeah, and Boots Riley and Lakeith Stanfield have worked together before on Sorry to Bother You, which still to this day bothers me. Like that movie was so weird. Like even
they apologize.
Like, yeah, I like that. That was weird, man. That ending,
I've never seen it.
Oh,
yeah.
You should see it and report back.
Okay, I could do that because the only thing I know about Sorry to Bother You is that that clip that they always show where he's like, Lakeith Stanfield is like him and another black man have reached each other, and they're like, "Oh yeah, oh no, you look good, you look good, you know,
brother.
Yeah, you look
smell
good too,
nice.
Brother. You smell nice. Yeah, that's
aggressive
the only
compliment.
thing I know about it.
Yeah,
I think when it dropped, I had worked at a call center before, and so this was very traumatic. I was like, I don't want to revisit that, and so I just stepped away from it because I've been there. Well, Matt, have you ever seen Sorry to Bother You?
No.
Oh, I gotta watch it.
We gotta catch it out. We gotta check it out.
It's so different. Like Boots Riley does, like it's very surreal. It's in the vein of Atlanta. So, but it's even like more surreal. So that's why I'm like, I'm not gonna spoil it for you or any of the listeners. But I was like, what did I get myself into?
Gotcha.
Yeah. But I still think it was a good movie. Yeah.
Okay. Boots Riley is a rapper turned director and activist as well. You know, Sorry to Bother You is one of his many credits. But I think that like Mari said, I think the one that I knew the best was it I Am a Virgo. I remember when that dropped and people were talking about it with Jerome.
Yeah, and we thought about covering it on the Connect, but then I think maybe, but it came out and we didn't know it came out until like it was way too late.
Yeah. So maybe we gotta check that out. Matt, if we talk about Sorry to Bother You, you coming back for that one?
Yes, of course. I can't say no. So I'll be here. And I'm actually really pumped for I Love Boosters right now. Just even reading the description, because I feel like it's very like positive, celebratory, like Demi Moore is in it. I was looking at her picture right here on the screen. And I was like, who? That one looks vaguely familiar. So she's here. I wonder if she plays. I wonder if she plays like the
fashion icon.
Yeah,
the
mogul. Fashion maven, as they say. So I wonder, maybe
that'd be fun.
Yeah. And then Naomi Aki. I don't know if that's how you say her name, but she's Whitney Houston, right?
She's Whitney Houston, yeah.
Oh,
which I told you I watched that movie, and I was just
you did.
She is Whitney Houston, though.
Like, she did a great job. It was just the script and the pacing was just weird. Biopics are just weird. We've talked about it before. Like, it's really hard to adapt somebody's life. I feel like that's why all of them are like 4 hours. The Whitney Houston one, I think, was maybe 2, maybe a shade over 2. I can't remember, but it just felt like oddly placed. It just felt like stuff was jumping, you know? It felt like they were just trying to get to song to song to song.
Yeah. I enjoyed I think Lifetime did a Whitney Houston biopic and it had Yaya.
I did too. Yaya.
Yes, I thought she killed it.
Really liked it.
Yeah. Was that Deborah Cox who was on the vocals? Again, it was that was she was singing.
That was good. That was back in 2015, I believe.
Good times. Yeah. I'm happy to see this cast. Obviously, we want to stay abreast of what's coming so that we can support these Black movies and TV shows. So I'll be checking out I Love Boosters. Maybe we can do a review here on Recap Kickback when we get there. Speaking of biopics, we do have another biopic coming our way. This time starring and I mean, I guess this is very fitting because Naomi Ackie being of British descent. We got another British person coming here to do. Yeah, she's another one stealing our jobs. We got John Boyega's back, y'all, and John will be playing Otis Redding in the upcoming biopic Otis and Zelma. Yeah,
like, I love my innits. I love my brothers and sisters from over there. But are there none of them?
We ain't. Are there none?
Mari, calm down. We can't call them out.
I mean, I'm not even calling them out because they're all really good actors and actresses. I'm just like confused.
Mari, we have to stick together.
We are. I am not causing a diaspora war. Believe me, that is not it.
Exactly. Just as you caused a diaspora war.
Yeah. No. I know. I'm just shocked every time. I'm like, they're British too. Like how?
Yeah. Another.
How is this happening? African American actors and actresses go into those those auditions.
I've got a chance
with their British.
You gotta lie now. You gotta look. They're stealing our job. Look, ever since 21 Savage revealed to us that he was British, things have not been the same.
Like what? Oh my God! I did. Yeah. And then once you get the job, then drop it and be like, and they can't fire you now because you did such a good job of convincing them that it even more proves that you're a better actor.
Are you implying that
you were a British, you were American pretending to be British, pretending to be American?
Yeah.
Wow. It's kind of like now you got it. Then you're like
the layers.
Look, like why would you want to fire me now? That was the ultimate acting job. I'm just saying.
I don't know if that's how that works, but
you don't support
that. No, I like how Mari. I'm on board with Mari. Look at that. A British actor playing an American actor, playing a British actor, playing an American actor,
like Robert Downey Jr.
Oh no! Stop! Cut that!
So Otis Redding, obviously, the iconic like soul singer, hits like Sitting on Dock of the Bay, These Arms of Mine. I remember I had the Best of Otis Redding CD when I was in high school.
Okay,
wait. Tell me nothing. Okay, I was very excited to have that. I felt like sitting in my old man truth.
I had that too. I bought that for my dad, but I
you had it too.
I did. Yeah. I did. I got it. And that I feel like that and like there was like I had an Ella Fitzgerald one, a Roberta Flack one. So but I feel like I don't know enough. One, I do think about Otis Redding a good amount, but I don't feel like I know enough about his life truly.
That's what I was gonna say. The only thing I feel like I know about Otis Redding is he got injured in an accident, right? Didn't a piece of a stage fall on him?
Dear Lord,
or something like that.
Well, that and he died in a plane crash. He died at 26 years old, which is wild because Otis Redding is one of those people who look like he grown. Right. He was only 26 when he passed away. Otis Redding looked older than me today, and I have a lot of years on Otis Redding for sure.
Hey, now I got to stay out of that rabbit hole so I can just watch the movie. I didn't know about that. Like, is that like? I'm pretty sure I only know about the Otis Redding like concert accident because of like the 100 shocking moments in music. Like bring those back. Like MTV, VH1, bring those back. That's how I know so much history about like music and stuff and just random
little bits of history. I miss those too.
I miss those so much. Like the 100 shocking events in music history.
Oh my god.
100 greatest one-hit wonders.
Look, we can bring that here to Recap Kickback. Let me compile some lists. We can do a thing. That's cool. But I'm looking forward to that. I'm very excited about it. Danielle Deadweiler also being in it. I remember her as Jolie from P-Valley, but she's in a lot of other things as well. And so very excited for that because again, 26 years.
Jolie from P-Valley?
Yeah, she's like a backup character.
The background character. Yeah, she's from The Harder They Fall, though, right?
I believe so. Yes, I believe so. The Harder They Fall. And she was Cuffy.
Yes. Yeah, Harder They Fall.
Yeah,
she was in
the piano lesson as well. So she's decorated. So between the two of them, I think this is going to be a good biopic. But again, Mari said it best. It's like biopics are hard because a lot of people are looking for like, does this person look like them? Do they get the essence of the person that I want? Or it's like, is it a good actor? And I think John Boyega and Danielle Deadweiler, they serve both those purposes. Like they are good actors, and so like I don't really care if they don't look identical. I just to like really evoke the essence of who I think Otis Redding is, or at least show me who he is in this docuseries. Because he was 26-year-old when he died. He had 3 kids. So
yeah.
What do you remember? I gotta go back to our top 5 for biopics because for me, I think I said on it, I'm not really like a biopic type person. Like I don't really I don't do biopics. I don't do like memoirs. I don't read memoirs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Chadwick Boseman really did. Like I loved 42.
Yeah,
I loved Get On Up. It felt like every 2 seconds he was in a biopic, but every time he was, I watched it and it was just so good. But yeah, I think we had the Jacksons #1 or something like that.
I'm pretty sure if we did it, I think it might have been the Temptations. Might have been #1.
Oh,
yeah. Again, it's going to be hard to top something like that as well.
Which is different than the 5 Heartbeats. Right?
Which is the 5 Heartbeats,
which is not which
is made up. It does not count.
So many people asked us about that.
Yeah, they're like, why not the 5 Heartbeats? I'm like, y'all, how many times do I tell y'all? It's not real. It's just like the Temptations with some glitter on it. Like they took other bands. Anyway, that's not here nor there. They're like, it's like Dreamgirls. It's like
right.
Yeah, it's like the same. So yes, that'll be coming soon as well. Matt, what's up? What do you like biopics?
No, but I'm like very invested in Otis Redding right now because I'm just like, here's the thing. To your point about like, oh, does the actor look like the actual person? I hope that we don't run to that much with Otis Redding because that's one of the stories that people really sleep on. Like we don't know his life to the level that we can. It's insane that he was 26 when he died. And even just like scrolling through his Wikipedia, I'm like, what the hell? This man lived so much life in 26 years. So I'm invested just to learn this story. And I'm also not like, oh, that he doesn't look like or sound like no, that's not going to be my reaction. And hopefully most people are open to like learning about his story through this. Because I feel like the diehards are just going to be happy that it's coming out. Like the people who really know Otis will be happy that it's coming out.
This is random.
I'm just happy.
What's the rules of Twitch? Because
what do you mean?
Because like we say like, oh, we should watch Sorry to Bother You or whatever. Yeah. Like, don't people be like streaming like whole movies and stuff and watching them with people on Twitch?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer personally. Chappell might be, so we'll get to him next. But like, I just feel like you do whatever and then you get a copyright strike. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna be. You'll be fine.
They won't like
the copyright strike.
That's my advice.
That's like the first sanction before they snatch you, though.
If you keep doing it, for sure, you'll be in trouble. Right? Yeah. But you can probably get away with anything once.
Because remember, we were just on a wrestling podcast and a guy was talking about he streamed. Remember, he said he was going to stream the whole like pay-per-view, like the AEW pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, that to me sounds that's definitely a copyright strike. But you can get away with it if no one knows, like if no one reports it, right?
And I watched this black girl watch true crime stuff on Twitch.
Not just
I forget her name, but she's like great. She has like thousands of people watching the thing, and I just like stumbled on her. Yeah, exactly. It was like me too. I was like, wow. she watches body cam footage. She watches like body cam footage.
Yeah, her watching body cam footage. Honestly, low-key, I feel like it'd be hard to watch her watching the body cam footage than actually watching the body cam footage.
Entertaining. Yeah, it's weird.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, we'll have to look into what the rules are, because maybe we can start playing some trailers on here or something, you know, where people can like, when we talk about these things coming up, we can at least play the trailer. That way we're not just like explaining to everybody what's happening. We can actually have like a little visual element. We got to check it out. They won't pay us if we start playing too many clips though. Like they definitely gonna be like, nah, we're not monetizing this, but they might leave it up.
Right.
Which would be fun. Something to think about for sure. Last, I want to talk about what's coming soon. Very important here for Recap Kickback specifically, because we have Abbott Elementary coverage, and this season, Abbott Elementary and It's Always Summer and Sunny in Philadelphia are doing a crossover episode. Matt, do you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Both of them. I mean, I'm okay. Let me put this out here. With It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, they're on like 25 seasons. I am up to. I don't watch it regularly, but I'm maybe on like season 8 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I will get to it all eventually. I love seeing them going from like really problematic. And you know, it's like always the tongue in cheek, like these are horrible people type thing. I love seeing them go from like really problematic to like less problematic over time. It's really inspiring for me. And
I just remembered my favorite Always Sunny.
Shut up. What episode?
Atlantic City.
Oh yeah, no, they have a lot of good. They have a lot of good ones. That's a solid one. Atlantic City's trash. So
yeah, the Atlantic City one, it's hilarious.
There's like a truck driver, or like
there's a beach ham, and then D gets her hair braided like if you were to go to like a Caribbean country, like braided with beads.
Vacation braids.
Yeah. Then they go up on like a little tower thing that does like a drop tower, and one of her braids gets
Listen, white people, stop vacation.
You know what? It actually is like it's actually a great show. Just to like take shots at people like that. So I'm actually really happy that they're doing a crossover.
But my question is, why are they doing a crossover? Because It's Always Sunny is about 4 friends who run a bar. They should be nowhere. Yeah, duh. But they should be nowhere near kids. Like,
Mari, don't you think that teachers drink? They go to bars.
Well, if it's just the teachers, okay.
Yeah. They better not come to the school.
Yeah, no, they better not go to the school. But I do feel like I saw pictures of them like on the set outside of a school. So I don't know what that was, but that's what it looked like.
Yeah, I don't know what would bring these worlds to collide, but they're both in Philly and they do be at bars, and so it could happen. But like y'all said, I think It's Always Sunny. I've only seen limited episodes, very few, but to me, it's always painted as like these are the worst people. They're all bad people. They're just sitting at a bar drinking together, and bad, stuff happens to them or around them because they're not great. But then Abbott, you have like, the world's nicest teachers with the sweetest kids who are also like up to shenanigans. I'm like, okay, how do those two things collide and bring us like some good television? I trust Quinta Brunson, obviously, and so I know it's going to be good. And we're going to talk about it here on Recap Kickback because Gia and I are going to be covering season 4 of Abbott Elementary once again. Yes, Gia Worthy and I will be back. I believe this Sunday we'll be dropping our recap of the premiere of season 4 of Abbott Elementary right here on Recap Kickback. You can also check us out if you just want our Abbott stuff on the We Know Abbott Elementary feed or on whatever. I don't know. It's gonna be up by then. It's gonna be up by Sunday. Check it out, and then make sure you tune in to the recaps from me and Gia, because we're gonna try to bring that coverage as we've been doing. We've been covering it since season 2, so this is kind of our baby. We gotta stick it out, and so I'm very excited to see when this Always Sunny crossover pops up, because we're back to 22 episode seasons. Abbott is back in full swing. Last season we had an abbreviated season due to the writer strike and all that good stuff. But we're fully back, Matt. You gonna come on to be a guest for our podcast?
I'm here, Chappell. I'm already here. Just like let's roll right into it. We'll stay on. Wait, Mari, question for you as someone who's watched Always Sunny. Do they have any black people in the later seasons, or
in the later seasons? I don't know. We probably like it's the same thing. Like James loved It's Always Sunny, and we used to watch it like you know, when we like closer when we were around college, and we will watch like just randomly. There's so many. It's like the episodes they went to the Eagles game. Like there's it is very problematic. It's very funny.
But they're always it's always making fun of like the point of themselves. You know?
And
even when I think of like the
few
black cameos, like it just makes mostly black people like, what are you like? What are you?
Yes, doing? Exactly. It's like it's like they're like they know what they're doing. I like always.
You have to appreciate it. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. They've been around for 20 seasons for a reason. Probably other than the fact that they produce their own show and all, but you know.
Yeah. Look,
what's the best episode of It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, if we're blessed to get 20 seasons of Abbott, then I'll be around for every last one of them. But I think this crossover is going to be great. I've heard nothing but good things about It's Always Sunny, and obviously I can't speak highly enough to really encapsulate like how much I love Abbott Elementary. So make sure you check it out this week on NBC, and then make sure you, of course, keep up with the podcast when G and I will talk about it this season. That said, that's our Black entertainment news for the week. That's what's coming soon. And, you know, thank y'all all for listening and giving us the feedback. Obviously, if you want us to talk about something that happens this week, let us know. You can tweet us at Recap Kickback, or you can email us recapkickback.com recapkickback@gmail.com. I'm sorry. Messed that up. Right. But yes, recapkickback@gmail.com and at Recap Kickback on all social media platforms, and let us know what you want us to talk about this week. Now, up next, we're going to complete our coverage of How to Die Alone, our recap. We talked about episodes 1 through 4 already, and so now we're going to talk about this season in its entirety right after this break. All right, and we're back. Before we get into How to Die Alone, Mari, did you watch Bob Hearts Abishola? We're supposed to be supporting these shows.
No, I didn't. And you know I didn't. So why are we even pretending? Did you watch what you were supposed to watch?
What was I supposed to watch?
I don't know. It was something.
Look, I will say this. A lot of people really did co-sign what you said, though, Mari, about Southside. Everybody was saying, check out Southside.
That's what y'all were supposed to watch.
I saw some clips. I haven't watched it. I've seen more of Southside than you've seen of Bob Hearts Abishola.
What clips did you see, though?
Oh, okay. So it was a guy. Oh man, let me remember what happened. Because it was hilarious actually, and it's funny because I think one of the listeners sent it to my Twitter DM because I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Google.
I was like, "Is this a parody?" No, I'm about to pull up the actual clip. But yeah, because I thought it was a parody. Oh yes, here it is. I think it's a bailiff is talking in court, right? And they're asking the bailiff about like different questions about the case, but he keeps complaining about the dude's shoes. He's like, yeah, and then and obviously he wouldn't have done this because why was he wearing them shoes? And then I'm like, bailiff, chill. And then he said, like, I knew I couldn't trust him ever since he walked in with a do-rag as a pocket square or something like that. And I screamed. So yeah, I've seen some clips now of Southside. People are speaking highly of it. Apparently it's still on HBO on Max, so you can still watch it.
Yeah, clips were floating around last week because or earlier this week on Twitter because it was like it said Showa. It was like what is one underrated comedic TV show that people don't talk about enough. And there's clips of Southside all over the place because of that. That show.
Mari.
Oh my god!
But you need to watch Bob Hearts Abishola, and according to Google, the #1 episode is season 1, episode 10, which aired on December 8th, 2019. Ice Cream for Breakfast, where Bob must gain confidence to fight for Abishola when she goes on another date with some guy, and there's all sorts of stuff that happens. Like there's Uncle Tunde, and he finds an unlikely friend.
It's always Uncle Tunde.
You have to tune in, Mari.
Yeah, you gotta tune in and let us know.
Now you just y'all gotta tune into Southside Crazy White Murderer. Like I told y'all to.
I'll check it out. And then y'all gotta go watch Bust Down on Peacock because
I watched Bust Down. I told you to watch Bust Down.
Bust Down, and I'm obsessed. And we'll never get another season of Bust Down. But that's not why we're here. Matt, we got to talk about How to Die Alone. What did you think about the whole series?
We do. This show is... I have so much to say about the series. I'm so glad we did it in halves because, you know, let me just put this out there, coming in hot, like Melissa, Natasha Rothwell's character, she is the villain. She's the villain from the beginning. And we saw it coming, but they just served it up to us as if it's normal, as if everything she did was normal. And I love every bit of it. And I love how this show had one season, but they said, we're going to leave so many different cliffhangers that you need to give us a second season. So I feel like people love this show. I loved it. I love the attention to detail. We need to know, obviously we'll get to what happened at the very end of the season, but we need to know what happened with that. Obviously, if you're listening now, you're hopefully you've watched,
gonna spoil
because we're gonna spoil the
we're gonna spoil it. So so be prepared.
This is it. This your final warning. Let's talk about it. I had so much fun watching this. I cannot wait for season 2. You know, we gotta cross our fingers and pray to the good old black gods, black Jesus, help us out here. Y'all good for canceling our shows before they get going. I've not seen anything but positive feedback about this show. Mari, how much did you love it?
I loved every minute of it. Matt is right. I was like, oh, City Girls down 1,000.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, Chappelle's gonna love this. This screams Lawrence Hive. All of it.
You see us? Here. I almost wore my blue shirt.
Yeah. But no, it was so good. It really feels like they flipped so many things on its head, like in this show, while it still all felt grounded. Like this show felt very grounded, very relatable, but also had whimsical elements.
Yeah.
Also showed a different point of view. It was great. I love this show. 8 episodes is just not enough. Like these characters deserve 22 episodes, but that's just not the model anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah. And you know what? They resolved the stuff that they needed to resolve. They left stuff open. I think they did. And then they left the stuff open that, like, I feel like they're kind of begging
to be open.
Give us a damn second season.
Yeah.
Give us that. Because but I do feel like for instance, the one thing on my mind, like, I don't need more of Melissa being afraid of flying. Like, we didn't need that going into second season. So I'm glad that is resolved. Maybe she'll have issues with flying in the future because of how this one ended up. So we'll see. But I feel like there was a lot, including her brother Brian's relationship and where that goes. Her relationship with Terrence. How did the wedding go with Alex and the Maui wedding or whatever? Getting Mauied.
Getting Mauied.
I want to know.
They did. And they did it in such a way that it's like, okay, say they don't get a second season. I think everything was all very satisfying. And it didn't feel
fan fiction about it, you know?
Yes, yeah. And I don't feel like they rushed it. Like, you can tell the one thing I hate about like some network shows, right, is you can tell back when it was the 22 season style format. Some network shows you could tell around like episode 8, 9, 10, stuff like this, like they weren't sure if they were gonna get renewed, so they would like hurry up, get the leads together, get whatever. Then they got renewed, and they're like, okay, well now we gotta like go backwards, and now it's a whole different show now because we kind of wrapped some stuff up. This didn't feel like that. This felt like Matt said, that they left some things open, but definitely gave us closure to other things. So
yeah,
perfectly executed ending, I believe.
Know what the big headline is here, because I can't, like, I want to talk about all the stuff that happened,
all of the stuff.
But I think we got to start with the end. Mari, like,
you want to start with the end?
I mean, okay. I kind of hinted at this earlier, but we've had shows that are canceled after a few seasons that we don't ever get a resolution to. And this very much reminded me of rap shit, Mari, because at the end of this, she's arrested for credit card fraud. And now, if we don't get a second season, we won't ever know what happens. This is literally what happened on rap shit.
That's true. But I feel like it's still not that bad. Like, I don't know. I still agree with Matt in the sense of like, I thought it was funny because did we all honestly think she was gonna she was gonna get arrested for credit card fraud.
No,
she was a criminal halfway through this.
Which I think was great about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, and which is an ending that I'm like, well, she went to jail. Like,
let me tell you,
I don't think I really need to know.
That's how you die alone.
No,
sorry, that's wrong, Matt. I disagree.
No.
I disagree.
Well, you know what? You're wrong, because I feel like, to me, this feels like, as a New Jersey person, New Jersey native myself, this feels like the Sopranos series finale. You know, Tony, he's in the diner, and then the mobsters come in, and then everything cuts to black. And you're like, did Tony die? Did he not? Like, I'm on the edge of my seat. More than I was with that.
If you are a sophisticated Sopranos deep diver like myself, you would know that everything faded to black because Tony was shot in the back of the head, and that is what mimics like death.
Spoiler.
It goes
yes, Mari. We the Sopranos, but I guess Mari. I don't have to watch it. I'm joking.
Chappell, I ain't seen a damn episode.
Oh, that's
what
you like. You like. I needed to know what everybody was talking about.
I needed to know what everybody was talking about, and I deep dived it. Yep.
It's hilarious because kind of same. Like, I actually want to properly watch that. We're not talking about that show now.
There's not a lot of black people
the lore. I know the lore. But I feel like people were freaking out about it after. And with this, like, you leave the cliffhangers, and now people are still like, we're talking about it now. I'm sure people are still
not a cliffhanger. I am on the side of Tony. Was there was a guy?
I did not mean that. I meant this show.
He was a member. It was
we didn't watch that show. We're not gonna argue about a show we didn't watch. We're not gonna argue about a show we didn't watch. Matt, I need to know what's gonna happen, because I think that you're right. We get her going to jail, and that could be an ending. But I think that's the wackest ending ever if we don't ever get a follow-up. Because
it's whack.
But listen, look at all the questions we still have. We don't know what happens with the wedding at all. We don't know what would have happened between her and Terrence. We don't know anything.
Which is
we
great.
don't know what happens with her husband. But no, what don't you want answers to these questions?
No, not if I don't get a season 2. Because that's what I'm saying. Like, if there's no season 2, like, I want there to be a season 2. But if there's no season 2, this is fine to me.
Don't say that.
Because they always rush characters together. Like, if they rush her and Terrence together, like, why would they rush her and Terrence together so quickly after
it was a whole season?
After she just couldn't say she loved Alex, it doesn't make sense for her to automatically just be like, oh wait, I don't like Alex because I love Terrence. It's like that's not something you figure out in a day and a half.
But I would like the second season so we can figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
No, we need a second season. Nobody's saying we don't need a second season.
Lock it in.
Yeah, I just want to go on record that we are all aligned that this is not okay.
It's not okay. Yes,
you're right. You're right. Yes. And to your credit, Chappell Mari, you were saying some of that. If there isn't a second, there is no if here.
We need the second season.
I'm saying that this is definitely a better ending to me than a rap shit at season 2, because like that felt so unresolved in a sense. Like, so I don't even want to think about it. I know.
Yeah.
Like, that feels so unresolved. This to me doesn't feel unresolved. That's what I'm saying. Like, I love this season. And I think that they did all they could to get a second season. So they should get a second season.
Yeah.
If they don't, I am still satisfied with this ending because it was something I didn't see coming. I thought it was funny. I thought it was fitting. It flipped it, like I said, it flipped a lot of things on its head. It answered it answered questions just enough. Like her and Rory, like kind of reconnecting just a little bit before. Like, it all to me just was really good. Her mom saying, I guess a bitch can't get no cone of coffee was hilarious too.
Yeah, we an entire journey here with Melissa. I think last time when we were talking about this, we kind of left off at she found her brother on a dating site. We did not continue on to say that, Matt. She goes on to catfish her brother for months.
I need to read Brian whenever anybody is ready.
I mean,
you know what?
Try, just want to catfish her brother for months.
Yeah,
it wasn't months. Was it months?
It
I don't
was
know.
months.
I don't know the time frame.
I don't think it was months. Why do you think it was months, Chappell?
Because they end up at Thanksgiving. Was it Thanksgiving? Like I feel like there was a legitimate time jump because she talks about how she was about to graduate from the program. And when we leave her, before the time jump, she's just getting into that program. By Thanksgiving, she's announcing like, "Hey, my graduation's coming up." She's got new hair. I feel like this has been it's been weeks.
How long's the program?
No, the whole show took place between October and New Year's Day.
So she was in a 4-week program.
For a 4-week program, pretty much management program.
Was she? I didn't think she was
I think
her brother that long.
I thought it was like
can I just bring up, I think that look, I don't care how long she was catfishing him for, because it was way too long.
It was way too long. Way too long.
It might have even been like a week or 2 weeks. You know what I mean?
If it was
because that's what it felt like for me. It felt like a Tinder thing, like a hey, whatever. You talked for like a week or so. Like it didn't feel like he was trying to do a relationship thing or anything.
I felt like this lasted too long because, like I said, when we saw her find him, she was down on her luck. She was at the lowest and stuff like that. By the time she shows up to Thanksgiving, she's good. That's what I was basing the time jump off of. Like when she finds him, she's like, "What am I gonna do? I don't know." Like my friend wants me to quit this program, all this other stuff. By the time they link up at dinner for Thanksgiving at mom's house, I guess, she's like, "Oh yeah, I've been in this program. Things are going well." You know, she's really trying to like shine on people at that point. And I just feel like the difference in her attitude showed me that there's been some days that have gone by because this lady barely wanted to live prior to this episode.
Where were they go? Okay, so I think it was episode 4 that they that Alex's fiance and friends were going on the bachelorette party. Do we have any idea where, like, when they were going, where they were going, what's the weather? I'm trying to triangulate the
party
date.
is still not that far from the wedding normally, but hers was before Thanksgiving, so it was more than a month. That was a weird timing. Like most people I know who have their bachelorette parties like 3 to 4 weeks.
But also they had a weird wedding timing with it being right around New Year's. So
yeah, which is disrespectful.
This is all very dumb. Don't do that. Do not have a wedding on New Year's.
I've been to a New Year's wedding and it is so inconvenient.
Have you? You showed up.
It's nice when you get there and you realize like this is what we're doing tonight. Especially because the people whose wedding I went to, they did really nice. You know, they had fireworks, all that good stuff. But like a part of me was like, damn, it's not like I had plans. You know what I'm saying? So,
and then as somebody who just went to a beach destination wedding, him not getting on that flight, I'm like, first of all, the bride and the groom for destination weddings normally don't try and get to their destination a day before the wedding. They're normally there a week before, because normally like the week stay is like comped so that they can be there to do all of the wedding stuff, or like it's comped, but they're paying for the whole fucking wedding. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know,
yeah. Well, she shows up.
Wait, so she catfished her brother for way too long was where we started that conversation.
Yeah. That's the sentence, man. That's the tweet.
Anyways, if she did, that means that she kept her brother from cheating, because hopefully that's what she was thinking.
She was cheating with her brother.
And she was emotionally cheating with him, but he had other people that he was talking to. This wasn't his first foray.
That's why I don't think now y'all make me want to go back and watch, because I didn't think they were talking that long, and I did think that he was definitely going on other dates. He was on a date in that first episode when she called him.
Mm-hmm.
But they were all like, they were deep in conversation about family and.
But we're getting sidetracked.
Holidays, all of it.
Look, the point
is the main.
The point is Brian ain't shit. Y'all are over here talking about what she did.
Wait, Mari,
Brian ain't shit.
Main character, Mari. We can't.
Mari, could we like?
Her brother.
Could we ring the bell? Could you just go off on him, please? Have you done it yet?
Because
Mari, go for it. Tell us why Brian sucks.
While we're here,
Brian sucks because he decided to marry this white woman. He decided to have these kids with these white women. He's the one who decided to build him up. Their mom was kind of messed up for that. The mom did that. Yeah. The boy moms. Gotta watch out for them.
Wow.
Mari, like, I'm now a boy and girl mom now, so I can say it.
How dare you?
Mari was a boy mom until about 8 months ago.
There's a difference between a mom who has a boy or a mom of a boy and a boy mom. He had a boy mom because once their dad died, his mom put all that pressure on Brian to like take care of him, and Brian takes care of the mom and Mel, which again points to Mel not being shit. But Brian ain't shit because he's cheating on his wife, and he's like, he gives this story about like, oh, he went to a wedding and somebody was like, oh, stand up for Black love, and he realized he could never have that. And so now he decides to cheat on his wife with nothing but Black women. Sir, go away.
He tried to have his Black love.
Which
was crazy, which I thought was so interesting how they introduced that, because again, we saw him on a date with a Black woman in that first episode. And then he pops up with his white wife, and we're like, oh snap. Like,
what's his white? Is her name Sarah?
I feel bad for, yeah, I think it's Sarah.
I have to say, I did not know her. I did not. She is white. And by the way, I did write down on my notes, because I didn't know her name for like 5 minutes of the episode 5 or whenever she was in it. And I'm just like, his white wife, like, I legitimately did not think they were going to give her a name. And I thought that would have been its own bit, you know?
And I thought he was just like a complete asshole, which I get because he's like shouldering the burden. But I love their dynamic in a sense of like them just hating each other. Like, I don't think you see that too often on shows where it's like a sibling relationship as adults where they're like openly hostile. Like hating each other, but in the middle of an argument, like after the Thanksgiving episode where they're in that bar because she catfished him and she shows up to confront him, like they go I don't like from they're like literally fighting to all of a sudden reminiscing about their childhood. Like that was so crazy to me. Like it was like in a good way, because that's how stuff like that happens sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're sitting here, you're arguing with somebody with family, you're both really mad and heated, but something happens to the effect of now you're reminiscing, and now y'all are laughing, you're looking up and you're laughing, and now you're doing like the dozens on each other. It's like jabs, like the acceptable jabs now. It's like it was a very interesting scene. What did you think of that scene, Chappell?
It was funny because the conversation is really like them both one-upping each other as if they were still beefing, right? So it's like, you catfished me. And she's like, yeah, but you a regular nigga that thinks you're extraordinary, and that's annoying. And he's like, you stole my identity. And she's like, well, you should have some empathy for me. He's like, you stole my identity. You know, so like having empathy for you as you're actively scamming in my name is wild. And so it was just them back and forth. And eventually they find themselves singing the Time Life album commercial, Matt.
That was hilarious. Weird. No, that was hilarious. That was hilarious.
I knew exactly what was about to come next.
Yeah.
I was annoyed the whole time because this man deflected his cheating to make it about all these other things, and it's like he kind of came back to it, but he was just deflecting it. Like he was like, "Oh, but you stole my identity." I'm like, "No, you are actively cheating on your wife and your kids by extension on Thanksgiving. Like, what are you doing?" And
that's crazy.
You know,
it was insane.
Yeah. Also, really catfishing your brother while you're sitting across from him at Thanksgiving dinner is crazy as well. Yeah, that is crazy. Like, this is nuts. All of this is nuts. When he said, like, girl, I could have sent you nudes, I was like, you could have.
Ew, that's disgusting.
Like, that's nasty. Like,
that's why you shouldn't send unsolicited nudes. You never know who's on the other end.
You never know who's on the other end. Dear God. Matt.
Wow.
You seem like you have... Matt, you seem like you have some... You have a story to tell?
No, I don't have a story. I don't have a story.
It feels like you have a story to tell. Let us
know. I'm just like a little shocked because the thing is, she found him on the app. I want to break this down.
Why are you still doing? Why are we still? Can we move on?
No. We can't move past that, Mari.
This is the smallest part of
him on the app with her. She found him on the app with her profile but then she changed all the details of her profile so that she could match him. Yeah. Because the thing is, like, I could imagine, like, if I'm her, this is maybe where I would have left it. I would have, as myself, like as Mel, swiped right on him, and then he sees her, and he's like, "Oh, did she see me on the app?" Like, that would be it, you know? Because he probably would, but like, and then bring it up. You know, I wouldn't like do the whole catfish thing. I don't think she had to. She goes way too far. Is my point.
She goes very far. Literally. You know, it's crazy because the excuse she used for turning down Alex was like, "But he likes me, but what if he doesn't like me once I let down this facade, right?" Man, you ain't had no problem keeping up that facade when you was catfishing your brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, for that, you were just living in. Her and her brother had good chemistry, Mari. Like, if they weren't siblings, they were talking like.
Truly didn't even bat an eyelash at this interaction.
It's such a big deal.
Ridiculous.
She emotionally cheating with her brother because he says, "I'm only cheating with these women because I want somebody to talk to about black stuff."
Yeah,
that like, is. Why not me?
Yeah, why not me? And he's like, "Because y'all are my dependents."
Y'all are my dependents. Yeah,
that was
depending on when he texts his catfish.
But also, hey, how about a therapist? Why do women have to be your therapist?
Look, she chose to be his therapist when she catfished him. So,
but it would have been another unsuspecting black woman if it wasn't.
Poor thing. Yeah,
no, she was legit. She was like, "Tell me about your feelings. How do you feel about your family?" Like, she really was going there, and she wasn't getting paid for it either.
No, doing free labor just so she could flirt with her brother is crazy. So they end up approaching, New Year's Day where this wedding is, and she's graduating from management school. Terrence shows up at the graduation. We talked about this a little bit, but I'm rooting for them, y'all. I'm sorry. And call me a softie. If the alternative is her going and destroying Alex's engagement / wedding, then give me the Terrence Melissa relationship 10 times out of 10. How did you think about this unfolding, Mari? Because we do get the moment where it does look there's some will they, won't they? Like they're really leading into the will they until she gets arrested for credit card fraud.
Well, but even before that, he's at the graduation. Alex is there. Of course, Alex is forced to be there because he's the manager. But she gets stuck in the elevator.
She's
my absolute worst nightmare.
With Patty.
Wow, really?
With Patty, even worse. Yes, yes, Matt. It is literally my worst nightmare.
Oh my god!
And she was taking it like a G at first, and then all of a sudden she started spiraling. I was like, oh, that's me. So like you. I'll commend her. She was hanging in there for a while, but yeah, they were in there stuck, and they had to wait until they got the jaws of life. But because of that, she missed her graduation. She missed like the chance with Terrence and stuff like that. But because she was stuck in that elevator, it kind of set her back on her wanting to get on a plane to Hawaii. Like, I think we'll talk about it, but your first plane ride being a 10-hour flight is just, it's a lot, but it's better than what she ended up doing later. So
before we leave the elevator scene too much, Matt, Patty is stuck in their elevator with Melissa. These people, they're arch nemesis. Nemesis. They don't get along, these two. And it comes out that Patty hates her, not only for taking her spot in this management program, but also because from Patty's point of view, Melissa is sleeping with the boss and getting special treatment. And I was like, I mean, when you put it like that.
And also, she said Alex was just getting over her. Like, Patty also doesn't like how Mel treated Alex, clearly.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. You know what? This was one where I was like, you know what? Patty's making some points. I'm with her.
Points were made.
Points were made. And you know what? Patty is just trying to show up and do her job well. She's a stickler for the rules. And, we don't really love her energy, but when has Patty truly been wrong? You know what I mean? Now that we think about it in retrospect, maybe Patty's the true hero here.
she could tell Melissa was trash. You know, like we come in seeing things through Melissa's eyes, so we gotta like looking at like, girl, Patty always doing something. But like by the end of this, I was like, well, Patty might have been right about some things. And Patty ends up taking her to Terrence, who will then help her board a plane training simulator where they can walk her through it. This was romantic, right? This was a thing.
Yeah, who knew that existed at an airport? Like what? Yeah. A plane training simulator.
Well, they gotta train the flight attendants
at the airport.
At the airport, I don't know.
I feel like that's a flight school.
Like it's right. A separate building to do that. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, JFK is a big airport though, so you never know.
You never know. Yeah, exactly. You don't know what's going on in these airports. But yeah, the whole flight simulator thing, that was, can I just say before we get on like the real serious stuff, but Sean and Deshaun are hilarious.
Yes.
They, oh my God, the Statler and Waldorf of the show. They are hilarious every time. They remind me of when Key and Peele were Ducky and Bunny in Toy Story 4 maybe all my parents know what I'm talking about there. But the funniest parts of Toy Story 4 are Ducky and Bunny. Look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, damn.
Yeah. In the simulator, it to me just felt like this is gonna be the moment, right? Like how can she not see Terrence standing right there doing this romantic gesture for her? But here comes Alex, and he comes in late. I just showed up right in time, and immediately you see the light switch go off. She sees Alex, and there it is again. She still loves this man, Matt. And Terrence will tell us sometimes you can shoot your shot and make it, but it doesn't matter because they're rooting for the other team. He feels like he doesn't have a chance here, and for a while, Matt, I started to believe, maybe this is a lost cause.
I mean, honestly, it might still be a lost cause depending on what her sentence is at the end. But I feel like she is to me, Terrence did the most romantic thing possible, and to me, it was just so obvious. I mean, honestly, everyone was just so thoughtful, all doing this for her. Like they all got dressed in legit costumes, except for that the pilot guy who's I don't remember
the guy who does Bob. That's Bob.
Bob's Burgers and Archer, whatever his name is. John H. Benjamin, I want to say. But otherwise they were all really locked in. And so in my mind, like sweetest moment ever. I will say I mean, even the fact that Alex showed up late to me was good enough. So I mean, she's obsessed with him. I get it. You know, we see that play out more and more, but you know, Terrence, I just feel like needs to be a little bit more direct with her, because we saw what happened with the relationship with Alex, where she's like, I just don't think that you're ready to deal with the real me when you fully see me. And I think part of it too is that she's just not like, maybe she just doesn't feel like she could be attractive to that level, because Carlos, like, remember him, he was just very forward about everything. Terrence, a little bit more laid back.
Carlos the cheater.
No, he's
I agree, but it's also like Alex keeps turning up, so I like how they did this, because it's like from her point of view, he keeps coming here, so he must still have feelings for her too. Like, but then once you like stop and think about it, it's kind of like, or was he just being a friend? You know?
Or you know, and then again, could you blame him for having feelings? She broke up with him. You know, it's not like he like left her high and dry and now he's playing in her face. Like she playing in his face. You know, it's tough. Yeah.
But even if he has feelings for her, like, I mean, he's kind of trash too. Like, look at him with his getting ready for his wedding.
Yeah,
it's a lot of mixed signals on his end. It's like, but inadvertently so. I mean, with the hindsight being 2020, it's inadvertent.
No, you're right.
Because how do you, like, after the flight simulator, she's all good to go, whatever. Her flight's the next day. She misses her flight. We see her miss her flight. But we saw him at the gate, and then he misses the flight too. So when he tells her that he like missed the flight on purpose, I was like, yeah, duh. We seen you at the gate and you didn't get on the plane. And what else would she think about him not getting on that plane? Also, sir, what do you mean you didn't get on your plane? Again, you're already cutting it close, getting on a plane to Hawaii. But the day before your wedding. So now to try and do it.
Flight. Yeah.
12 hours
like he couldn't
before
change the flight. What's he doing?
Right.
What was he doing?
So
that was trash. And I thought that whole scene, Mari, after he missed his flight, when she's in the restaurant and she sees him, I thought it was like some sort of fever dream hallucination. Like I legitimately did not believe that was real.
He was like, there's no way these people on a day-long date.
No.
The day before this man's wedding.
No.
You know,
I didn't believe it until the end of the episode. And I'm like, oh, wow, that was real. Damn.
Yeah. On a friend date. It's funny because her idea was to show up, walk in, a la A Different World, and just be like, you know, stop, I love you, all that kind of stuff. And then we haven't talked about this person at all, but she made a friend named Allie. Yeah. And Allie got good sense. Allie said, hey, don't do that.
Yeah, the bar.
Don't do
I don't know none of these people's names.
Yeah. She says, don't do that. Hey, we're not doing that because you're going to make yourself look awful because the family's not going to support that. No matter what happens.
You did a good job.
Her family is there as well. They going to whoop your ass. Like somebody is going to carry you up out of there. Why don't you try to do this before the actual events of the wedding? And I was like, thank God somebody
said it. Yeah.
Somebody stepped in. But you're right, Matt.
Go to Hawaii.
Alex and Melissa spend the entire day together. She even tries a Rangoon, and that almost literally killed her before. And so he's got her, really stepping outside her comfort zone. And it seems like, they might be rekindling. She's apologizing for the way she reacted to the I love you. He missed his flight because he needed to take some time. Like it's feeling like, oh my God, I was rooting against him so bad. But the chemistry was so good that I was like, well, I mean, if he's not trying to get married, then this is the time. And then they kiss.
No, she kissed him.
Wait, before we get to that, like I was like at first, like when they were talking, I was like, oh my God, are they gonna sleep together before this man goes off to get married? Because the chemistry was off the parts. But I just want to say this is that episode. Like this was that insecure episode, like Lawrence and Issa clearing the air, reconnecting type. Like this is that episode that we see a lot in like almost all sitcoms, comedies, like TV shows, especially with the Will There Won't They stuff. It's always they go out on that one date, that one magical date, everything's perfect. And normally it's like it always feels like the man is kind of trying to and seduce and entice the woman. But this date felt the opposite. It felt like Mel was really like trying to pull him in. I mean, the chemistry was mutual, but you know what I mean? Like when they're at the karaoke bar and they're singing and then all of a sudden the world stops.
The world literally stops for them.
It literally stops for them. And it looks like it's from his point of view because he's the one who's just stopped admiring her as she's still like singing to him and stuff like that. I thought that was a really interesting like gender role flip. It kind of felt to me like it felt like a different energy, even though he was like definitely participating. And then they get on this pond and like Chappell says, they kiss and then
Matt, she kisses him. The fireworks go off. Sarah Bareilles is singing Gravity in the background. Like this is everything. This is one of those moments where this is everything. But if you really stop to think about it, this woman just decided to ask this man to destroy his entire life.
And I don't have much of a problem with that. I kind of do, but the bigger problem I have is like he was. What was he even doing? He should have been in Hawaii. Why are you on this friend date?
You can't have friends, Matt.
Not your ex.
Not your ex.
Before
but why was she invited to the wedding?
Yeah, see, that's a better question. That's a great question. Because she's maybe, you know, I was gonna say because she's a coworker, but let's be real. Patty was not invited to the wedding.
Right. They said this had been 2 years since they had briefly dated too, right?
Yeah, I mean, and they're close. Like they're close.
Yeah.
They're coworker friends, you know, and they were exes, but I get it. But I just I didn't like the vibes. When they had the magical kiss, let me just say this. The fireworks were going off, and I was like, oh no, this isn't it. This is not it. This is not it. Like I was so uncomfortable. So I kind of been like pissed at both of them for that, because it just didn't need to go that far. And that's where it ended, which was the funny part about it.
I loved it because it was like a record scratch. It was like,
yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate the record scratch that followed.
Yeah,
for sure. I'm with you, Mari.
Well, that's the thing. When the fireworks happened, I was like, damn, they really doing this. And then when I heard Sarah Bareilles, I said, wait a minute, why this song? Because Gravity is one of them songs, Mari, that you talk about, like Pretty Wings, where it sounds cute, but the lyrics is kind of like, this is an on again, off again relationship that you just can't drag yourself away from. It's very much like, I keep getting pulled back to you. Something brings me back to you. Like that's what she talked about. But that's not like a love story. That is like I'm trying to get away from your pool, but I can't. And so the moments later, he's asking her, okay, if you feel this way, then do it. Say I love you. Tell me that you love me right now. That was the shocker for me. She couldn't even say it, Mari.
Yeah, he was so like incensed that she kissed him. I was like, oh, wait. Like,
yeah,
because I mean, he was throwing them signals too. I thought he was down to clown. And then when she kissed him, he was like, no. He was like, why would you do this? And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And he was like, why would you wait till now? Which is true. Like, it's been 2 years. Why would you wait right before he's about to get married and all of that? And they're going back and forth about that. And then he finally, and then she says, tell me you don't love me, which is, I mean, that is like straight out of romance.
No,
one-on-one.
I felt like this was a flip. This was tell me you love me.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. She said the thing that everybody says first, like, just tell me you don't love me and it'll be done, which is what we always see. Yeah. And then he hit her with the Uno reverse, and that's what I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, all of this was done in a way that you think it's going to be what you expect, and it was just completely unexpected.
But here's my thing. I don't know that this man went through with his wedding.
Well, we won't know. If Mari has her way, we're going to have a season 2 because I'm messing with you. No, we don't. That's part of the cliffhanger, right? We don't know how this affects him. We just know that he pushes back against it initially, right? Because she can't even say the words. He lands on, I'm going to marry someone who will allow me to love her. And I was like, if nothing else, that's the bare minimum that you can do for yourself. Honestly.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Sure. Or you could just like not. You could just Did you just I said you could just not get married right now.
He loves her.
Just, like,
he does.
But
does
he? Does he? He's not on the plane. Like
he said he needed a pause, Mari. Damn.
No. Can you imagine? You know how pissed I would be. You know how pissed I'd be if I booked my trip to Hawaii and then they canceled the wedding, or better yet, they go to the. I'd be pissed because I can't get my refund. I don't know if I get a refund.
Why would you get a refund?
Just Matt.
Go to Hawaii.
Vacation, Matt. That's how destination weddings work.
Listen, I got a destination wedding I got to go to in December, and whether they get married or not, I'm gonna be there. Okay?
Exactly. Like, shit, they just opened your schedule up. Now you can go snorkeling.
But on New Year's Eve, like I could just go like any other day, you know. Like,
I mean, New Year's Eve is a perfect time to take a vacation to some tropical weather.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's probably more expensive on New Year's Eve. I don't know. I'm just saying. Now the marriage better work out, because people paid a lot for those flights, for those wedding gifts, for that toaster, for that set of little glasses that people like to put in their wedding registry, you know, the little like champagne flutes, maybe all that, you know. I need the marriage to work out, and I need the wedding to go on, so that I feel fulfilled, because I just spent thousands of dollars on celebrating your love. So you
but
better
did
love
you
each
not
other.
have a good vacation? Like,
No,
you know
because
that you don't just fly in for the wedding.
I was
hung
over half the time, and the resort that you made me stay at was way too expensive. So
you made me stay at.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point of destination weddings. If you can't afford it, then you don't go, and
You
it
don't
saves
go.
them money.
But
Yeah.
I love Mari.
Okay,
So
Matt,
I'm gonna go.
Just don't ignore the signs, because the TSA agent was offering people $3,000 to give up their seat on the plane and take a later flight. I was dying because I've actually been in this
bitch.
I've been in this spot before where I've been sitting there thinking like, dang, $800 does sound good. I could show up late. And then sitting there like, nah. Then I thought about it again. It's like, maybe. I think last time I went to New York, there was a delay. And they were saying like, okay, look, we need somebody to get off this plane. We'll give you $800. And I sat there and I was like,
like you were on the actual plane already?
Oh no, I was sitting, we were waiting to board, and they were like, we need somebody to agree to take a later flight. And I was sitting there thinking, $800. Nah. They upped it to $1,000. I got up. When I got to that damn desk, that woman said, I'm sorry, you just missed it. You take too long. So this felt like it hit really close to home. But yeah, she's ignoring all the signs from God. Obviously, she eventually does catch on because God is yelling at her and cursing at her as well. So there's a lot going on in these last few moments of the show. Mari, she accidentally aired her brother out for cheating.
Yeah. I just want to say, as a fellow nervous flyer, I've given out the tips to how to fly as a nervous flyer. If you think what's bad about your first flight being a 10-hour flight to Hawaii,
thank you.
What's worse would be your first flight being 4 different flights. Right. Because she asked Hazel from Degrassi. Shout out to Hazel from Degrassi.
Oh my God, was it really her? Oh wow, I didn't even
as the gate agent. She asked her to book her on a flight so that she barely gets there. So she went from New York to Charlotte. It was supposed to be Charlotte to Atlanta to like Miami, then Miami to Atlanta to Dallas, and then Dallas to Hawaii. Why would you sign up for 4 flights? That's even worse. Again, tips for people. The places you'll have the most chance of dying on a flight is takeoff and landing. So if you do a non-stop, there's only 2 chances of you dying as opposed to 8.
Okay, hold on. Let me also just point out that, and it's so funny because there's a point in maybe like episode 5 where she has her headphones on, and I feel like there's like something she's listening to where they're like, just so you know, when it comes to air travel's actually safer than, and then it like cuts off because but literally it's like plane. Look, in the US, like commercial planes are not crashing.
Oh
like,
my God.
That's my solace.
Knock on some wood, Matt, please.
What's the last point? Tell me the last time, Mari. Come on.
It's rare. Matt's not wrong. You're way more likely to die in a plane crash. You're more in a car crash than a plane. You're more likely to like die walking to your mailbox than you are on a plane.
Oh, thanks.
It's very true.
I mean, but then if you really think about it, it's just the odds anyway, because I mean, look how often you're walking to, you're in a car, just numbers wise, you're in a car at least 15 times more than you're ever on a plane, at least for most people. And so, it's there, you have the statistic. It's supposed to make you feel better. I don't think it makes a lot of people feel better. Like, well, I'm probably going to die on the plane. She had a good flight. She had a moment of turbulence where she panicked, but then it was all good.
Sorry, the flight attendant.
Her face.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hate people like that because it really. That's how you get me.
Resting scared face.
Resting scared face.
Yeah. But she makes it. She ends up landing and waiting for her. It's Terrence. We're about to have our big happy ending that we all waited for. It was always Terrence. It was supposed to be Terrence all along, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? It might not be because she gets arrested. And now we have to figure out what's next. She's arrested for credit card fraud, so she will be going to jail.
Credit card fraud and identity theft.
And identity theft.
And larceny.
She accidentally aired out her brother's business on the car. I don't know why he had her on.
Speakerphone.
He had her on speakerphone in the car.
Yeah.
But so
said,
no, well,
but
it was
your wife.
Okay, it was what I think happened. It was I feel like she left a message because it was like the playing with the little, like it was a message.
Yeah, he listened to
maybe it like autoplay. I don't know if it autoplayed or
they didn't have a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
No, it was
like it was just kind of like she popped in and popped out. Yeah,
yeah, because she was using the phone on the flight, like, which was another thing. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's illegal. Yeah. That is illegal though.
But anyways, but anyways, either way, she aired his business now. All we got is the wife looking at him like
the kids was in the car too, weren't they? Like that's crazy.
They were playing like Roblox or Minecraft.
They definitely heard it.
Like they did not.
And we'll have to wait to season 2 to find out what it all means, right? So we have the marriage stuff of obviously Alex's wedding. Does it happen? Does it work out? Will they
he drove off?
Right. She goes to jail, so is she going to be getting out anytime soon? What's this looking like for her? Is her brother going to press charges because he probably thinks his sister threw him under the bus? And we know they don't even like each other like that. So there's something there as well. The infidelity of it all. This is a conversation that they have to have. Will her and Terrence even work out? Does Terrence want to be with a criminal? Rory is back as well. What does that even mean for him? We kind of gloss over the Rory storyline. I didn't like it. I would just say this. I felt like it was a waste.
He was out of the show for like the last 4 episodes.
Yeah, like I feel like it was. It didn't matter. Like they really laid a foundation that these 2 people are codependent, and then gave them 4 episodes apart, and then brought them back. Like, okay, we're not that codependent actually. I was like, okay, well, never mind.
It was like he helped get her out of the elevator, and
he knew where she would be at,
and the flight simulator, but he didn't want her to know that he had helped. Mm-hmm. And all we got was they did their little truth thing, which is something from Insecure. Did you notice that, Chappell? Mm-hmm. Where they say truth, and they say what they say. But it was just like, it was, I mean, and he got by Coastal Bay there. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like these characters deserved a little bit more, because I feel like if there was more episodes, we definitely would have got a more fleshed out Rory. We would have gotten more characters, like the other white guy that works with them.
The one with the beard?
Kind of big gay one. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. And more of the woman who formerly played Trina, like, and then Terrence's girlfriend was there and gone the next episode. Man, these
that was
characters deserve more episodes, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully we will get that for season 2 whenever it comes. Let's keep our fingers crossed. But I do agree with Mari. This was good. This was 8 episodes where it was good. If you tell me this was a mini series and it's over, I would be sad because I want more story. But also give Natasha Rothwell more opportunities to tell more stories. How about that?
Exactly.
And I'll be there for whatever that is. But this was so much fun. I just reliving it, talking it through with y'all was so much fun too. It made me want to rewatch it again. Yeah, so definitely check out How to Die Alone. If you listen to all of this, I know you probably already watched it, but let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know, and let us know if Mari is tripping for not wanting a season 2. How about that?
How dare she? But for the rest of us, we need to figure out where to write, like which white TV executive to send letters to make sure they don't
to get them to pick this up. Like, who you have to blackmail?
Mr. Hulu.
Yeah,
Mr. Walter Hulu.
Exactly. Matt Scott, thank you for being here with us.
I'm honored to be here. This has been a lot of fun, and I'm gonna miss the show. I'm gonna miss talking with you about the show. But yeah, I'll be back for season 2. I'll be back.
Come back before then. It's spooky season. We still have not done anything scary yet, Mari, here on Recap Kickback. It's time. I think we got to find something spooky to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, it's not our fault that October's first 2, like the 2 weeks of the fell weird, so that we've already done 2 episodes in October. It's fine. We still got like 3 more weeks. So
and there's some horror in here too, in How to Die Alone. It's about death, right?
Yeah, and getting catfished by your sister is pretty horrific as well. Matt Scott, where can the people find you and keep up with you when you're not here on Recap Kickback hanging out with us?
Well, I'm glad you asked. You could find me at Matt Scotchy W on the different socials and all. And again, like, just thank you to everyone who's tuned in and tweeted and all of the things about this. You could find me over. By the way, I'm like, wait, which podcast are we on right now? Because you could also find me and Chappell and Mari along with Pod Daddy Rob over on Nothing But Netflix. I'm sure Chappell will plug that. Where we talked about Mr. McMahon. Chappell has probably already mentioned this, but we will be on Crime Scene with Mari. I'm sure Mari will plug that. And one thing I'm going to plug, which reach out to me again, Matt Scotchy W, if you want to be part of it. It's for my Philly people. We are going to be hosting a premiere event later this October in Philly at the Landmark Fritz Theater. All around a project called I Stand Survivor Kagayan, presented by RHAP. So reach out because soon that link will be public. But I could slip you the link and get you in. You have to pay for your ticket, but I could still slip you the link to pay for the ticket. So that's where you could find me, Chappell. Thanks for asking.
No, and thank you for being here. I'm in that documentary or that movie, so check it out.
Documentary, future award-winning documentary.
Oh, sure. Yes. It'll be on my IMDb page.
You guys carrying the torch for the I Love series and the.
You gotta make it happen.
No. It is not I Love the 80s. It's not I Love the 90s. We don't want to get sued. VH1 has nothing to do with this. But it is the I Stand series. So check it out.
Yes. And we stand, Matt Scott. Thank you so much for being here. Mari,
happy to be
what about you? What you got going on?
You can find me on Twitter at Mari Talks Too Much. That's 2 like the number 2. I mean, that's where you can really find me. You can also find me on the Crime Scene podcast, talking true crime documentaries, docuseries. We will have these 2 fine gentlemen on there coming up next week. But this week we talked with Mary Payne Gilbert about it always escapes my mind as soon as it's about to come.
You don't ever know what you're talking about.
No, it's just because
Mari be like, it was something. I don't know.
It's like because it's like as soon as I'm about to say it, like my mind just goes completely blank about what it is. But we talked about Into the Fire. The Lost Daughter. It was a great docuseries on Netflix. We had a great chat about it. You can go to crimescenepod.com in order to subscribe to that.
Yes,
that's it for me.
Yep. And y'all heard my plugs here. Matt and Mari gave them. So you don't have to, you can just check me out on the other various podcast appearances. And then make sure, if you like the Walking Dead, we got the Zombie Kickback here every week as well with AJ Mass, Jessica Leese, and Josh Wigler. So check that out here on recapkickback.com. And then, of course, keep up with all the other good stuff we got going on. It's spooky season. There will be more spooky content. There will be spooky content, I promise. Mr. Crockett, I think, is coming. So we're going to check that out probably next week. And we will bring you more news, and happenings in Black entertainment.
And send us your suggestions. I know we got a suggestion of From. I watched the first episode of it. I would honestly be watching more if I had the time, which I'm my time is freeing up now, so that might be something we can talk about by the end of I also watched them. We watched them. I would love to talk about that. So we'll put our heads together. We'll tell you what we're watching for spooky season, and we'll also take your I've been trapped behind Maria, isolated like it's North Korea. Smaller city with some bigger dreams. The wall is cracked, I'm looking in between it. The world is yours, but man, I gotta see it. They say it's hard, but man, I gotta see it. The air I'm breathing can't feel my chest. Wait on life, I wanna hold my breath. I'ma get in my goddamn self.